everybody, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Vicky.
And we're the Drama Mamas.
Yes, we are.
This week, we are tackling Mallrats, which is a Kevin Smith film. And we've got opinions.
We have lots of opinions.
We have differing opinions.
We do have differing opinions.
I'm a little nervous about it.
Maybe our first big fight.
No, say it ain't so. So, please silence your cell phones. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, your feature presentation.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mallrats. Let's go over all of the information.
Yes.
The background. The foundation, if you will.
You handle your education.
Hell yeah. I research the shit out of it. You know what? There are, like, people that actually know shit. If it's not on Wikipedia or IMDb...
You're like, eh.
Well, like, for example, when I was researching The Princess Bride, there was a BuzzFeed list.
Wrong movie.
I know, but I'm just saying, there was a BuzzFeed list of, like, things you thought you knew about The Princess Bride. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not a reliable source. This is fake news.
But Wikipedia.
Exactly. It's legit. It's too legit.
Thanks, President Trump.
Mallrats was written and directed by Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He has 33 writing IMDb credits and 31 directing. 33 writing, 31 directing.
Mm-hmm.
Notable work before Mallrats was Clerks.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. Since he's done Dogma, which has Buddy Christ in it.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Chasing Amy, which people like. Clerks 2, which is my personal favorite.
Yeah, that's probably everybody's.
That was my first Kevin Smith movie.
I think that was my first. Is that the one where they get the monkey? No,
that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which he also did.
I didn't realize that.
Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
I legitimately didn't realize that one.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Pretty funny.
I mean, I've seen it, but I didn't realize that it was Kevin.
He directs a lot of his own work, a few episodes of The Flash and Supergirl, and he does his own podcasting bit. He's written for comic books. He's like all around super nerd
guy. Yeah.
Yep. He's a filmmaker, actor, comic book writer,
super nerd,
author, and podcaster.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, how dare you? I am reading this shit that I looked up.
His comic book shop.
Yes.
I don't remember what it's called. Zach likes it.
Something to do with comics.
He's got a reality show on it. Zach
Didn't it come on Spike?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like we watched it.
We watched it on
cable.
Netflix or Hulu. One of the two. We don't subscribe. Or we do subscribe. We don't get cable.
So, we are not drinking for this.
We're not.
We maybe should.
We maybe
but not
should.
Sauvignon Blanc.
No. My God. It fucking rotten Moscato, bro. Like, I thought it was fermented extra.
There. Speaking of extra, hey, Vicky.
Hey. I actually have a note on that regarding Mallrats.
Really?
About
Excellent.
how I'm actually in this movie, but I didn't know it.
So, Kevin Smith came to prominence with the low-budget comedy film Clerks, which he wrote, directed, co-produced, and acted in as the character Silent Bob of stoner duo Jay and Silent Bob.
Who, if you don't know who they are
friendship goals.
You were not born when I was born.
Right? You're either way older than us or way younger than us.
And chances are you're way younger than us. And probably you should ask your mom for permission to listen to our podcast.
We say the fuck word. So, Jay and Silent Bob have appeared in Smith's follow-up films Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, which were set primarily in his home state of New Jersey. This is all boring
Why
shit.
did I think that they were from fucking Canada?
Really? It's so funny that you say that, because, like, I know New Jersey's, like, a big thing.
Is this Bernstein? Is this what this is?
Yes, the Mandela effect.
Ah.
YouTube that shit.
Don't
Google
us about it.
YouTube it. Yeah.
Don't talk to us about it, though.
I've already gotten angry about it.
We're good.
I'm over it.
We're good.
It's so funny. Like, he talks about New Jersey. He's super into New Jersey. It's a thing, right? It's well known.
He's from Canada.
But because he's also, like, Ben Affleck is in a couple of his movies and they're friends. And Ben Affleck is so, like, Boston, wicked Boston bullshit.
He's a fucking bitch.
In this movie, he's especially bitchy and awful.
I'm pretty sure it's in my notes that he's a fucking bitch.
Just the worst. He has,
I don't remember exactly
stupid
how
man
I worded
face.
it.
There's something about his forehead and chin combination.
It's so fucking big. He's got like a 5 head and a 5-fingered chin. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but
I can understand that he's attractive, but I personally do not like him.
Yeah, he's not my kind of attractive.
He's been hot in something. I can't think of it right now. He was kind of hot in Pearl Harbor.
He was, no, that wasn't him, was it? Yeah, what? Shit. No, that was Tom Cruise.
Okay, back to Kevin Smith. So there's a lot to be said about Kevin Smith, but basically he's mastered nerddom and fanboying. He is hilarious and witty.
Side note from my childhood regarding Kevin Smith.
Do tell.
So I guess this is the first official time that I've watched Mallrats. I thought that I'd seen it, but I hadn't. Mm-hmm. And as a child, I legit thought that Kevin Smith was a mute.
Well, he does speak as Silent Bob, but it's like a line. But it's
hardly ever. And as a child, I couldn't ever remember him because fucking Jason Mewes does so much talking.
As he should.
As he should. Don't stop.
We are J fans. If you haven't...
I'm not a J fan.
Now, talking about the stars. The 3 stars that are listed are Shannon Doherty.
Of course she is.
Right. She has a reputation.
Yeah, as a witch.
Jeremy London and Jason Lee. Yes, that's correct. Jason Lee. Shannon Doherty is from Memphis, y'all. Holla, Tennessee. What?
Yeah.
Good old Rocky Top.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
We're in Tennessee.
Sweet home to me.
FYI.
Good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Whoop, whoop.
Don't get me going. I'll keep doing it.
Please don't. So she has 71 IMDb credits. Shannon Doherty, that is.
Yeah, not me.
Prior to Mallrats, she was in 90210, Heathers, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which is not actually a big film, but I like it, so it's on my list.
I've not seen it.
It's Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt when they were very young.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Right.
She was on Little House on the Prairie, which blew my
Shannon Doherty was?
Yes. She was Manly's niece that Laura and Manly take in.
I don't remember.
Alfonso.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, so they take her in, and she's like, she was in a bunch of episodes. I didn't. I didn't put in.
From Little House on the Prairie, I remember Laura.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the dad.
Okay.
And I remembered fucking bitch-ass Nellie.
Do you remember Nancy?
Oh, yeah, I guess I remember
Nellie
her.
2.0?
Yeah, I remember her, too.
And Mary, the blind sister?
My grandma used to watch it. Oh, yeah, I remember the blind sister.
You don't remember her mom?
I mean, I guess I remember her mom.
Do you remember the doctor?
No.
He was like gingery.
Oh, I remember Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, but that's a whole different show.
Sully. Oh my god.
We're going to have to cut so much. Well, you.
Yeah.
Not me.
It's cool. We go off on tangents. And we are heavy breathers. It's cool. So, that blew my mind. And her first credit was in 1981. So, she has been like working for a while.
Yeah.
Since
now
then,
she hasn't been for a while.
Yeah, since then she's done Charmed, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and she was in the reboot of 90210. Recurring. She has a reputation for being difficult to work with, but still works. Like, she works it.
I mean, have you seen her cheekbones?
Yeah, I mean, she's really pretty.
She can work it.
She's been in the news recently a lot because she has breast cancer.
I remember seeing that a few years ago. And
very open about the process.
Yeah. Which,
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
Jeremy London. That was T.S. Quint.
Yeah. Yep. Nope.
I mean, we'll talk about his character in a second.
Get there.
So this was his 8th of 76 IMDb credits,
That's surprising.
which is shocking because I don't think I've ever seen him in anything other than this.
Well, he's not memorable, so.
Yeah, since has had notable roles in Party of Five. He was in 89 episodes of that, and I still do not remember him. Not that I was a avid watcher of Party of Five, but
Right.
I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah.
Still don't remember him. And he was in 37 episodes of Seventh Heaven, which I did watch.
Oh,
and
I
don't
did watch
remember
that.
him.
I don't remember him either.
I don't believe he was in it. I think they just made that
That's
up.
fake news.
IMDb was just like, we'll throw him a bone.
Fake news.
Jason Lee. This is his 4th of 64 IMDb credits. Since he really wasn't in anything notable before. Anything that I found notable. And I do the research, so.
You do. You do. I'll give you that.
So, since he has been in Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Dogma, Jersey Girl, those are all Kevin Smith movies.
They are.
So, apparently they get along.
Yeah.
He voiced in The Incredibles. Do what?
I said I get it.
Right.
They seem to have similar personalities.
He reminds me a lot in this movie of Randall, like a toned down Randall from Clerks.
Oh, yeah.
Like they have a very similar speech pattern. They make a lot of the same references. They have a lot of the same opinions. So he voiced in The Incredibles. I think he was the villain. The ginger kid
yeah.
got the blow off. That's not right. Moving on. He was in My Name is Earl.
Okay.
And Willem from this movie plays his brother in My Name is Earl.
Yes.
And he was, of course, in Alvin and the Chipmunks. Side note, this is not a notable role, but the person that was the showrunner on My Name is Earl did a show called Raising Hope, which when it was on the air, I only caught, it came on before something else I watched, like The New Girl or something. And I would just catch the last 5 or 10 seconds of it, and I'm just like, this show is fucking stupid. Like, who watches this show? Well, 3.5 years later on Netflix, I do. And it's actually really funny. And he has a couple of guest starring roles on that. And it's really funny. Like, I think whoever writes that show and him get along really well, too.
That's good. It's in my queue, I think, but it's been in there for
It's really funny. The blonde that plays the mom, her and the guy that plays the dad, they kind of carry the show. Like, the show is primarily supposed to be about their son and what he's dealing with, but they make the show. They're so good.
Okay.
It's a really good example. A lot of times, like, TV shows will have people together, like, as a couple, but they can't have conflict without it being relationship conflict between them, and so they're always at each other's throats to the point where you're like, why are they together?
Right.
They do a really good job of creating conflict around them that sometimes they can be on the opposite side of the argument, but you still see why they're together, and a lot of times they're on the same side against something else, and they're always working together, and it's a really nice change of pace for TV.
Right.
In my opinion.
I could see that.
So, 1995.
Yes.
We got some shit. Domestic terrorist bomb. I'm just going to start on a high note. So, the Oklahoma City bombing was in 1995, killing 168 and injuring more than 680.
That's a bummer.
Yep. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Newscasters.
Oh, is
you know that
when,
joke? That's when he came back to the NBA, ending his retirement.
You know, the only thing that matters about Michael Jordan is when he...
Space Jam?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know me so well.
Well, we grew up at the same time. Like, I know exactly where you're going with that.
Yep. Lola Bunny.
An unprecedented heat wave strikes the Midwestern United States. Temperatures exceeding 104 degrees in the afternoon for 5 straight days.
Fucking Jesus.
At least 3,000 people die.
Oh my God.
750 in Chicago, Illinois alone. Right?
Dude,
like
Chicago's
when I read that,
been getting hit hard since the 90s. Probably since before that.
Have you seen Shameless?
No.
Well, Chicago's interesting.
Okay.
I watched... all I know about Chicago... This is not true. A lot of what I know about Chicago I learned from TV, from ER, and Shameless.
Okay.
And I think Family Matters was in Chicago too, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yep. So I know everything you need to know about Chicago.
Yep.
Yep. The New York Times and Washington Post published the Unabomber's 35,000-word manifesto. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson is found innocent.
I didn't do it, but if I did...
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Objection.
Federal workers were sent home when there was no money to pay federal workers during budget deadlock.
That's interesting because that just happened a few years ago, except the federal workers were not sent home. They still had to work.
These times they are changing. Windows 95 is released by Microsoft in 1995.
Oh, I wouldn't have guessed that one.
JavaScript was first introduced and deployed. Make sure that's up to date on your computer. Shit won't work. eBay started the online auction and shopping website where people buy and sell goods and services worldwide.
See, stuff like that is crazy because that's like my earliest memories are of that.
Right.
I know, it's like... Not of eBay specifically.
Yeah, but it's always been around.
Google and
Weird Al
YouTube.
has it in a song, so...
Yeah, so it's been there forever.
DVD optical disc storage media format is announced. Announced.
Do you remember that shit?
Announced.
I remember we had so many VHS tapes and all of a sudden DVDs came out and my mother and my brother's father were like, VHS is now obsolete. We must get rid of all of our VHS tapes. Let's get DVDs to replace everything. And I was just like, that seems absurd.
I was exactly the opposite. I remember, I'm about to date myself. I remember going to Blockbuster and seeing when they would release the movie and they would have VHS in DVD and just being like, oh, this DVD thing is not gonna like take over. Like,
right? You're like, that is gonna break. That's gonna break.
Exactly.
It's not sturdy. Now you look back and you're like, DVDs were probably a bit more durable than VHS tapes.
There's a lot of things in retrospect, like when Blu-ray came out.
Yeah, I was like, that's stupid.
Well, Blu-ray came out at the same time as HD DVD.
Yeah.
And Luke bought way into the HD DVD. We got an HD DVD player. We bought everything that was out on HD DVD, including like The Thing, I think we got on HD DVD because I remember Luke watching it like 1,000 times. And then the Blu-ray player, they put it in the PS3 and it was just like game over. Yep. So that'll probably be cut.
Yeah.
American rock band Grateful Dead announced breakup, 1995.
Wow.
Yeah. Highest grossing films, Toy Story, the first ever wholly computer generated film.
I remember.
Which was written by Joss Whedon.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know, blew my mind too. Batman
so
Forever
slightly.
was the number 2 film, which stars
That one.
Gay Perry.
Yes.
Val
We
Kilmer.
talked about it. Yeah.
I know.
I said last week that I love that one.
Every time I do research, I'm just like, oh, we talked about this in the podcast. We talked about this.
Like we've done so many episodes.
Well, I mean, I've researched ahead. So,
It's
and then
true.
Apollo 13, Houston, We Have a Problem, was the third highest grossing film.
Oh, yeah. I don't love space movies.
The Oscar winner was Forrest Gump,
Yeah.
which co-stars Robin Wright Penn, who is in The Princess Bride, which we're talking about next week.
Yep.
So,
Tom Hanks.
Jenna.
Jenna. Run, Forrest, run.
Trivia about the movie.
Okay.
The studio almost replaced Jason Mewes, Jay, with Seth Green.
No.
I know.
Unacceptable.
Like, I got angry when I read that.
What the actual fuck, Kevin Smith? This is your movie.
I feel like if you talk to Jason Mewes, he would sound a lot like Jay.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get the trepidation casting him as, I don't know, anything. But Kevin Smith insisted that Mewes should play Jay. Oh, he calls him Mewes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, we were talking about that earlier, and I knew he didn't call him Jay or Jason, but I couldn't think of what he did.
Yeah.
The studio made Smith take auditions for the role. In the end, all concerned agreed that Mewes was right for the part. Seth Green was on call, ready at any moment to fly to Minnesota so that he could replace Jason Mewes.
No.
I mean, I love Seth Green.
But he's no Jay.
Oz, yes.
He's no Jay.
No. There would be no Jay in Silent Bob. Would you fuck me? I mean, it's not the right movie. but
It's not, but it's like the most
that
notable.
GIF is forever the best GIF
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
So Universal wanted either Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, or Chris Farley for the role of Brody Bruce.
Woof.
And they wanted Ethan Hawke for T.S. Quint.
Mm.
That would be an interesting film. That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad that they didn't cast any of them as Brody.
Right? Because Jason Lee nails it.
And, he's my kind of hot.
Yeah, I'm not saying... Okay, I'm going to hold off. We're going to discuss this. We're going to have it out.
We're going to fight.
So Stan Lee initially did not want to be in the film as himself. He felt the dialogue wasn't things he would say. And
Right.
Kevin Smith responded that it would just be pretend. To which Lee replied, "Okay, Spider Friend." Because I guess that's the thing he says.
It doesn't sound like me, Spider Friend.
Right? Like, I don't see... There's no Spider Friend in this script. I would never say these things.
Is this the first movie that Stan Lee appears in, does a cameo in?
I don't know. That would be an interesting thing to find out. Surely not. But, Brody didn't know what he looked like, which I thought was ridiculous because I live in the
We live
Marvel
in a world,
Cinematic Universe.
But when you think back...
He's got 111 actor credits.
Yeah, and they're all from fucking 2000 and above, I'm sure.
Oh, he's narrated a lot of, like, comic book stuff and the Muppet Babies.
Oh.
He was in the Muppet Babies.
I don't remember that.
Well, his voice, like, it wasn't like Stanley walking up.
That makes sense. I understand why I don't remember that now.
As himself. Rory, go to bed. I mean, it's possible that that's the first time he's been himself, but I don't know. We're going to have to cut all this out, especially the part with me going, Rory.
Rory.
I don't even see a credit for Mallrats. Okay.
He was probably so embarrassed by it. He was like, yeah.
Well, a lot of times, like,
delete.
IMDb will have the credit, and they'll put uncredited. I'm just like, bro.
You're credited.
So, Silent Bob has only one line in the entire movie consisting of adventure, excitement, a Jedi craves not these things. He had an additional line in the extended version, which we watched.
Which is the one we watched.
Which was, there was never anything good to say before. So, that's all my research.
All
right, let's get this party started.
Yeah.
So, we open on the rich woman. I'm so glad you had the extended version, too.
Yup.
Guys, if you're listening and you didn't watch the extended version,
you're not missing a whole lot.
I mean, you're missing some, but
not enough.
Not anything you would care to miss.
It was so slow and drawn. I'm glad it was cut. Because I was like, if this is how the whole freaking movie is, I'm not watching this.
It was like blowing his mind. He watched it with me, and he was just like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is this the right movie?
Zach and I thought that too. I was like, this is a Jay and Silent Bob movie. It's supposed to be funny. And then finally it got to the freaking the opening credits.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And then it started getting better, and I was like, okay.
I'm glad they cut that.
Thank God.
So we open on a rich woman who is drunk and getting her ass
fucking
thoroughly
obnoxious.
Kissed. Oh, yes, she is.
She's obnoxious.
But her ass is getting, like, kissed.
It's getting that deep sea kiss.
And this is what I put in my notes, a poor man's Jason Statham. Because I didn't get a good look at him at first. I just saw a bald head.
Zach, I didn't get a good look at him either. And Zach came home from work. I was probably about half an hour in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the scene when the reporters are at his house and he has caught them and he's like, ah! Mm-hmm. And Zach was like, does he look familiar? And I was like, kinda. And he's like, pause it.
Do you watch The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Enough to know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
We're a bit behind, but whatever. But I couldn't place him because, it's like...
He looks a lot different.
It's like a 20
He's recognizable,
well,
but
it's not a 20-year difference. It's like a 15-year difference.
Yeah.
Because they're in, like, season 7 or something.
Right.
But he was like, it's Merle. And I was like, oh, shit, it is. And then I was
That's
like,
in my notes. I was like, is that Merle?
I was like, oh, I've just seen Merle's ass.
Yeah, you did. Can't unsee it.
Can't unsee it. He looks
They're discussing
better
funding.
older.
He does. You know, there are several people that do. I say a lot. That's not true. There are several actors that do.
Jason Mewes.
We just have so much to discuss. Like, so much. So, then we go up to a stargazer.
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
you can tell that she is smart because she wears glasses.
She wears glasses.
So, this girl has her head on her shoulders. Like,
Yep.
a good head.
I bet she does.
Yeah, it's just right on them. So, a reenactor points a gun at her, which, by the way, like, not the best way to introduce a character.
Right? I was like, immediately, I was
head.
like,
It's off-putting. Yeah. What are you
I
doing, bro?
was like, no, you're a douche. I don't like you.
So they kiss and discuss what she's doing. Looking at shit. He's dressed for a play, and he wants her to see him perform or sing. It's not clear. He says sing.
He said, I don't know.
It's not
He was
important.
like, I'm going to
Nobody
be
gives a
on
shit.
stage, and you're supposed to be in the front row.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, I'll watch from here.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. Like, I didn't like him when he first showed up, but I did feel like he had a point. Like, he's doing a performance.
Yeah.
This guy
Support your...
isn't there. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be there later.
I agree
after.
with that.
So I was just like, she's kind of like...
A bitch, yeah.
Yeah, and he's persistent, and she's just like, no, I'm good. So she breaks the news that she can't go to Florida, which they had planned to do for the school break.
Mm-hmm.
Because her dad wants her to help on a game show. Now, when we find out what that game show is later, I'm like, this bitch. Like,
right? You're like,
what the fuck?
I wouldn't be okay with this.
Yeah, who would? Like, fuck that.
So, epic breakup scene ensues.
Oh, God, they're so annoying. I am not a fan of these two.
No, I put...
Separately or together.
I was like, Brandy's breathy voice is annoying. It's so obnoxious. I'm like, shut up.
Yes, he thinks that her father is sabotaging their relationship, and he calls her stupid.
Right? And I was like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, bro. And she says he's being possessive and an ass, and she's not wrong in my opinion.
Wrong.
So the gun gets caught in her hair, which I feel
right?
like...
What the fuck? How did that even happen?
A little weird.
Right.
I mean, did you see her hair? It is silken.
Right? It's
Nothing's getting caught in there.
Straight.
Like, nothing.
Completely straight.
My hair? Sure. Guns get caught in it all the time. I live in Tennessee.
Every day. 5 times a day.
Right to bear arms in these curls. Like, so anyway, it was a little far-fetched, but the security for the rich lady is touchy and sees the gun as a threat. Chaos ensues. He surrenders with a sock.
Did you catch that the rich lady is the governor?
Yes. Later. Not at that time I didn't.
Oh.
They misinterpret his surrender, and the poor man's Jason Statham, which later turns out to be Merle. I never got his name. It's not important. I don't like him. But you find out that's her dad. Which was just a reveal. And then I put, is Jason Statham Merle? What the fuck? So the boyfriend and dad argue over the misunderstanding. The dad is an ass. Mm-hmm. And he's so much of an ass that he makes the boyfriend, T.S., look like less of an ass.
Right, which...
He made the strong ass impression.
Yeah.
And then his dad's just like, no, hold my beer.
He's like, wait a second, kid. Let me show you what you'll be like in a few years.
So the boyfriend corrects dad. He says something. He said, what was it? He used aspire instead of conspire or something like that.
Yeah.
He was right.
He was right. No, shit.
I should have written it down, but I didn't.
I didn't either.
Anyway, the dad doesn't like that. Girlfriend dumps him for real, legit. He says he can't. He says she can't stand up to her dad, and she says he embarrassed her and insulted her father and possibly affected his career. He says he planned to propose on the trip, and she is not impressed.
No, she's like, really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
right
she's
now?
like, I thought that you couldn't make this night worse. Is basically what she said, and then you're like, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're
going.
over. How dare you want to marry me?
Well, I guess you could take it that way. I
mean, in the middle of a fight, you probably should be like, well, I was going to propose, so you can't break up with me.
Right. I get his desperation, but it's just like, you can't break up with me. Like, I was going to ask you a question that you don't, like, you feel like you're too young to answer.
Or whatever.
So then we have the comic credits.
Yes, and then
the
the actual movie begins.
Yes.
And
then we meet Brody.
Much better.
Well, that's because you like Brody.
I do. I wrote down, I was like, Brody is totally my kind of attractive, and I think that says a lot about me as a person.
I get it. Like, I get the attraction, like,
He's hot.
He is. He's cute. Like, he's super good looking, and he's got
ugly.
that, like...
stoner vibe.
Is it a stoner vibe?
Yeah, that's what I've been into since it's the same. I feel like it's
Shocking.
the same reason I find Jason Mewes attractive. I've found...
I feel like that is a different vibe.
In initial relationships that I've had, I am always attracted to someone who is, at the time at least, a stoner.
Nice.
It's just, I have a type. I don't know that it's a good one, but it's a type.
Jason Lee Brody is woken up by a chick knocking on his head, and he is not happy about that.
Yeah.
He starts to play his video games. She says he promised her breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who's quite attached to food, I would also be pretty upset.
Right? You promised me breakfast. Feed me.
Yeah, like, I fuck you on a regular basis. You can feed me breakfast.
Right.
Bro.
Right.
I have to stop saying that. It doesn't fit my self.
No.
It's replace some expletives that I use in traffic. Instead of like, fuck face, I'll be like, bro.
Yeah.
The fuck? I still say fuck.
Not in the same context.
Side note. In traffic, there's an 18-wheeler that was turning in, and it has to do really wide turns. And it almost like knocks this car that's in a turn lane. And I had my 2 daughters and 2 of their friends with me. So it's a full car.
You did.
And I was like, did you guys see that? That's crazy. And one of the friends goes, he almost hit that car. And my 6-year-old goes, what a dick. Oh, God. That will forever be funny to me. Nobody was in the car to hear it except children, so I wasn't mortified.
And now the entire internet knows.
Well, it's different. It's different. Shut up. So he promised her breakfast, and then he wants to like
play video games.
Yeah, like fuck that.
Fucking hockey game.
And
on
he's
the
like,
Sega.
"You can wait, bitch."
No, your video game can wait.
Yes,
I'm hungry.
Exactly.
Feed me.
So he's a douche. That's what I wrote in the notes.
Yeah. No. She's a bitch.
Because she wants breakfast?
No. Because, like, at this time, she's already written him this fucking breakup note. She already knows that
but
she's
she might not have given
it
to him if he wasn't.
Man.
She could have written that note months ago and just, like, when the final straw.
She's just been carrying it around in her bra.
I've done shit like that where I'm just, like, prepared at any moment to call it quits.
She's too fucking extra. He's like, what do you do?
Extra.
What do you do in the bathroom? You're in there for, like, 30 minutes every time.
Oh, my God. This was bad.
She's like, you know what? You really want to know what I do in there? I cry when I think about all these successful people out there, and I'm just here fucking you, and you can't even give me goddamn breakfast. Or let me meet your mom. That's her breaking point. She's like, I don't even know your mom.
Well, it's not just that. Like, he makes her sneak in after everyone goes to sleep, and then she has to climb out his window.
Made her sleep under the hotel bed on prom night in case his mom walked in. Like,
yeah, like,
what is your mom doing that she's walking into your hotel on prom night? Like,
I kind of want to, like, I want to meet his mom now.
I do too.
Like, she's mom goals, if I'm being honest. Like, she's a drama mama.
She's a drama mama.
She is.
We don't even get her name.
No, she's just Brody's mom.
She's just
That's all we are now. Like, you're just Sage's mom now.
I know.
I'm just Serendity's and Rory's mom.
You've got double the pleasure.
Double the fun.
Double the fun.
Double mint.
But they're not twins.
They're not. God, no. She leaves through the window, throws a Dear John and letter at his head on the way out.
He's like, what the fuck is this? You're breaking up with me?
So Tia shows up on his door.
Yeah.
And I was confused for a minute because he calls him mon frere, which I think
means my friend
Yes.
in French.
I think so too, but in the song Frere Jacques,
It's Brother John.
it's Brother John. So I'm like, are they brothers?
Oh, maybe he said my brother, like, you know,
Yeah,
my
like
home
bro.
slice, my bro,
Yeah.
my fam.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
I don't know what the kids are saying these days.
I don't either.
Last I knew it was fam, but I know it's not that anymore.
Probably something like stupid.
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
So I was really like, seriously, for about 20 minutes, I'm just like, are they? It was in the back of my head. I'm like, are they brothers?
I didn't even bother because then the news crews fucking
The
showed
news
up.
crews.
Yeah.
The media rushes them and they run inside.
Mm-hmm.
Renee has dumped Brody.
Yeah.
The news is out.
TS is not.
TS was going to propose on the Universal tour at Jaws, which is a
jumps out
horrible idea.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video? I think it was a Vine where this guy is proposing. It's in a bunch of fail videos at a waterfall, and they drop the ring.
Oh, disaster!
Gone forever.
Disaster.
Never getting it back.
I would be like, bruh, you
Mother
can't.
Nature is like, oh,
No.
he put a ring on it because she's got it now. It's
Yeah.
hers. So they pass. Oh yeah, I finally learned TS's name at this point because I kept calling him boyfriend.
Oh.
Brody wants to go to the mall, which,
Yep.
by the way, every time they say, let's go to the mall, I think, you never watched How I Met Your Mother, did you?
I've seen some episodes, but I didn't watch it.
There's a great episode where Robin doesn't want to go to a mall, and they're trying to find out why. They have a bunch of weird theories, and Ted thinks that she got married in a mall. Like, they have a lot of weird theories.
You want to talk about fucking extra
Barney?
Doogie Howser.
Doogie, okay, yes. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes,
Sean.
he's fucking extra in that show.
Yes. He is legend, wait for it, dearie. But no, okay. You haven't got the best part. So, he finally finds out how they find a video, and she was briefly a Canadian pop star, and her hit was, Let's Go to the Mall. I'm not shitting you. Like, we're going to YouTube this when we're not recording.
Okay.
You need to see it. It's hilarious.
Okay.
And so every time I heard go to the mall, I was like, let's go to the mall.
Ooh, when they pulled up to the mall and it shows, like, widescreen mall, I was like, Zach was in the room with me at that point, and I was just like, man, malls haven't changed at all since the 90s.
Did you see the Kohl's? There's one
The
scene.
Kohl's.
Yes, the Kohl's
There's a
logo is
Kohl's.
exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
It's
And I was
22
like,
years later.
I know. I was like, man, I wonder if that's why malls are going down the shitter.
They can't keep up, bro.
Internet.
I'm going to stop. Like, I'm going to like slap my hand every time I say it now. So Brody wants to go to the mall.
Yeah.
TS wants to stop by Brandy's,
Yes.
which is just an excellent idea. I think when they left it, she was very open to seeing him very soon.
Yeah, she was so ready. She was like, yeah, I definitely want to
Anytime.
see you tomorrow.
So they passed the Quick Grocery, I think it's called Quick Grocery, from Clerks. Like, they show that shot.
I completely missed it.
Aw, but it was just like...
I completely overlooked it.
TS and Brody stopped by TS's ex-girlfriends, which I later named Brandy. Yeah. I have a hard time picking up names sometimes. Not Brody's. Picked his up right away. Brody distracts the paparazzi, and
He
TS...
does a good job.
Yes. TS and Brandy talk, and he's getting somewhere with her.
Yep.
Brody tells wild stories. We see the ex's dad get out of the shower. TS then starts berating Brandy.
Yep.
Because they're so perfect together.
Of course.
And the dad kicks out TS and Brody. Like, he sees the news cameras.
Yeah.
He loses his shit.
He
kicks them
brings out a gun.
Yeah. He legit loses his shit. And they flee to the mall,
Yes.
as you do. They
Yes.
go to the mall.
Yeah.
So then we meet Ben Affleck's character, Shannon.
Who is a fucking douche.
He's the worst.
He's a douche.
He's an asshole, is my exact wording here.
Yeah.
Brody gets laid out, and they see the stage. he gets knocked out by part of the stage.
Yeah.
That we see the same guy carry in like the background of 2 other scenes. I'm just like, where is he carrying it? Where is it going? What is he doing? These questions need answers.
He's just, being an extra. He's,
Yeah, he doesn't get a SAG card for that shit.
he's adding to the scene.
So we get to meet Willem.
Yes.
And his trouble with optical illusions. He can't see the sailboat, and literally everyone else can.
Yes.
I can't see those things either. I've never been good at, like, relaxing your eyes. Can't do that shit. My eyes are tense.
You might say they're intense.
Yes. So the stage turns out to be Brandy's dad's show. They're going to film it in the mall.
Yep.
Like you do.
Yep.
Great acoustics for television programming.
Mm-hmm.
They hatch a plan
That's
to
what they
sabotage
did in the
show.
90s, though.
Yeah,
Like, I remember,
they did a lot of stuff at the mall.
I remember when Richard Simmons came. I remember being on the second level and watching down, like looking down at the stage while he was on there and just being in awe. Because he doesn't do much of anything anymore.
Right? Wasn't he, like, missing for a while?
Yeah, because he wouldn't leave his fucking house.
Well, you know.
Still there. I listened to that whole podcast. Didn't end up hearing any interviews with Richard Simmons. He was like, nope.
No, I'm good.
Nope.
They hatch a plan to sabotage the show using Jay and Silent Bob.
Yep.
Jay is the best. I think we get
So
our
funny.
first Snoochie Boochies.
Snoochie Boochies.
They were going to do it anyway. Like, Jay and Silent Bob had
Yeah,
already
they were
planned.
like, hell yeah.
Yeah, they were totally in.
Like, they were like, we don't need a reason.
Right? The stage is like the Death Star. It has one weak spot. But the mall cop is fierce. LaFour. Okay, they keep calling him. Is it LaFour? LaFour's?
LaFleur's.
LaFleur's?
I think so. It's LaFleur's.
Well, the
'Cause
nerd
it's
in
like-
me kept hearing LaForge, like in Star Trek.
Oh.
Geordie.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Geordie
sure it
LaForge.
showed his badge and it was like LEFLEURS, like
I just
the
call him Mall Cop.
flowers, right?
I actually, the first time I typed it in, I put
Flowers.
Paul Blart.
Mall Cop.
And then I was like, no, I can't.
No, that's funny.
But they had the Superman debate, which I thought we could chime in on.
The Superman. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the Lois.
Yeah, whether or not a human could accept the seed.
Well,
What are your thoughts? I know that you've thought long and hard about it. No pun intended. I think that Brody was right on this. I think
probably like,
what did he call? He said it was akin to a shotgun blast,
yeah.
which is not
And
the
then-
image you really want when you think. Well, not that you really want to think about it that much, but
Right. But then he's like talking about how they just fucking blow out her fallopian tubes and how the baby would kick out of her fucking
right if she got a suntan. Yeah, I'm with Brody
and
on
how
this.
he was like, he said unless he used a kryptonite condom, but then he'd be dead. And I'm probably with Brody.
Then they have another debate.
Lois could
They follow
handle
up immediately with another argument about whether or not the cookie stand is part of the food court.
They do. I'm with Brody.
I'm with Brody on this too.
Like, it's outside
There is a
of
food cart,
the court.
food court, not food cart.
Yeah, it's outside of the court.
Right. It's a court. It's a courtyard. There are dimensions. There's
yeah.
an area, perimeter.
It's a defined space.
Exactly. If anything selling food outside of that is not part of the food court.
No, it's random snack.
Let me put it this way. If I was 10 years old and I went to my own store at the mall and my mom said, meet me in the food court. If I was waiting at the cookie stand, I would have gotten in trouble because
Yeah.
it's not part of the fucking food court.
Right. They'd be like, you fucking idiot.
So Brody
I raised
is
you
2 for 2.
Smarter than this. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Brody's 2 for 2.
Yeah. Well, I would say 2 for 3 because he did get dumped because he was such an ass.
Yeah, but fucking...
When bitches want breakfast, you get breakfast.
Okay, yeah, like, if you promise me
He was
Waffle
taking her for
House,
granted.
you better... I mean, I don't disagree, but I don't think that means that she's too good for him. Like,
She's better than he treated her.
She immediately is like... And immediately she's with Shannon.
Well, she's not with him. He asked her out.
She's already met his mom.
Well, that says more about him than her.
It doesn't, as you
It's
find
weird.
out.
What?
Later in the movie, when you find out his true intentions.
Yeah, he's an ass. In every possible way.
Yeah.
Brody sees Renee.
He's an ass.
Brody sees Renee and forgives her for PMSing, which is always the right move.
Yeah.
Just like, I know
Yeah.
the hormones.
So if we say he's a 2 out of 3 because he got he got dumped, I'd say he's at a solid 50% now.
Yeah, like, dude, that's don't. It's just a bad move. They argue about the things and splitting custody of the mall.
Brody's like, this is my mall.
Right. And Renee is
my mall.
over his
Yeah.
shit. She's just like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Jay goes over the plan A, I should say.
Plan A.
They do have to go down a couple.
A couple.
Silent Bob goes after the mall cop with a sock full of quarters, which was always going to work. And the kid puts a wrench in the works.
I put this fucking asshole kid fucking rolls at fucking, what is it, a truck?
Yeah.
A wooden truck out and
poor Silent Bob eats it.
He eats it.
He does.
Poor Silent Bob.
Brody mom shames the mom who lets her kids sit on the escalator. Now, does she deserve it?
I said, "Oh shit, Brody is me." I didn't know I was in this movie, but I am.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm
with
children.
him.
Parent your children.
He did remind me of Luke a little bit when he's just like, I hope that kid gets sucked into the escalator.
Yeah.
She needs to learn a lesson.
She needs to learn.
That shit comes right out of Luke's mouth. Like, he will say shit like that. And I'm like, don't say that out loud. I know
similar.
You don't really mean it. Like, you don't actually want a kid to get sucked into an escalator, but not everyone knows that.
I mean, you know what? Like, parent your fucking kid. Your kid shouldn't be sitting on the goddamn escalator.
I'm 100% with him.
Like, I still worry when I get on a freaking escalator if I have, like, my jeans are too long or something, and especially if they're frayed at the bottom. Yes. I get worried about it sucking me in. Which in the 90s
and the early 2000s
that was a big
common.
Thing.
Yes.
It's a big thing. I still prefer jeans that are long enough to do that.
Me too. I think it's just, like...
It's how I grew up.
We're going to be those people. They spot Trisha Jones, who's a senior at 15. She's a wonder kid.
She's 15.
But she sleeps with men for research.
Ages 14 to 30.
She makes an exception toward the end of the film.
She does.
Unless Jordy, mall cop, whatever the fuck his name is just a very old 30.
Yeah.
Trisha slept with Shannon, who hates Brody for an forever unknown reason. Like, he just doesn't like his... I think it's because
Shannon Doherty.
Oh, you think he liked her? I think he just doesn't like him, and that's why he was after her.
I
felt like it was more of a vengeance than pining.
Well, I think it's just he likes to be intimate with people in uncomfortable places.
Like the back of a Volkswagen?
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
That joke never gets old.
I think that she was in that vulnerable place where he could talk her into it.
I don't know. Like, he tried to talk Gwen into it and didn't. The blonde.
Yeah.
That's in Chasing Amy.
Yeah, I had a really hard time remembering her name.
Gwen?
And, like, yeah. Well, because I kept thinking, I was like, this is 1995. And I was trying to think, I was like, how old is Renee Zellweger?
Oh, yeah. No, I see that.
Because I was like, is this fucking Renee Zellweger? And then I was like, no, this is 1995.
You know, she was the teacher in my favorite episode ever of Veronica Mars.
Oh.
She's the pep coach teacher that takes over the newspaper.
Yeah. Oh.
In the Weapons of Class Destruction in season 1. I think it's like episode 18-ish.
You recall far more than I do.
Well, I've watched it a lot because it's the one where Veronica and Logan kiss.
Oh.
In that big, like, sweeping...
Yeah.
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 so good. Jonathan Taylor Thomas is in that episode. Like, it is the best. It's probably my all-time favorite episode. I love that episode so much.
I know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Not Veronica Mars. So, Shannon is into weird shit, Trish says. That's all she says. And we find out later what that weird shit is. Which is not actually that weird. I mean...
Yeah.
I guess for a 15-year-old it would be. But, like, it's not... When I say weird... When I hear weird shit, I think uncommon.
Yeah.
Like, he can only get off with a nipple clamp on his left nipple and a butt plug and dressed as a maid. Like, that's some weird shit. You know what I mean? But...
He can only get off if there's a chain around his throat and a ball gag in his mouth.
And you're calling him mommy. Like, what is that? Simulated breastfeeding. I don't know. Like, that's some weird shit. Anal is not that weird. Not that weird. Some people are really into it.
Some people are not interested in trying it.
Some people aren't.
Maybe those people are prudes, but I'll side with them.
Maybe those people are Vicky. I don't know.
Maybe they are. Like,
so Stanley is at the comic store.
yes, of course he is.
Yes.
Where else would he be?
And Brody, like, almost gets kicked out of the mall, freaking out, trying to find out who's in there. When this guy
like, this
has
is my
Stan
mom. Right, he's written all over his fucking
written
head.
all over his head.
Like, really, dude?
Just take a look at your surroundings.
Right.
And if Stanley's at a comic book store, they have signs up. That's all I'm saying. Like, just take a second. Look around.
Observe your surroundings.
Kid gets caught in the escalator. Which saves Brody because he was going to get kicked out of the mall.
Yep.
Jay goes over plan B. Silent Bob misses the pin and breaks into the same dress. So he broke into a dressing room the first time.
Yes. With Gwen in there.
With Gwen in there.
Yeah.
And Luke's like, I thought there were boobs in this.
There
well,
are.
They're coming. So then he is like on a rope swinging, trying to get the pin that brings down the Death Star.
Like dressed up as poor Batman.
Yes. Poor tubby Batman.
Poor tubby Batman.
So he misses the pin and goes into a dressing room that also has Gwen, and now we see some boobs. So.
And also his head is through the fucking skirt part of the...
I don't think I noticed that. I was taking a lot of notes. Jay and Silent Bob evade the mall cop and join Brody and TS.
Yes. In the actual food court.
In the food court, not the cookie stand. So Renee and Shannon get spotted in the food court.
Yes.
And they are clearly on a date. Yeah. Jay and Silent Bob.
In the mall that Shannon works at.
Yes.
They're on a date. Lunch break date.
He's classy.
Okay.
He's a stand-up guy.
His fucking cheap 90s suit.
You know, maybe this is like an alternate universe where you get like a mall discount. So maybe like he's taking her to like an Orange Julius and getting 20% off.
Ooh, fancy.
He's got a job, which is more than Brody has.
Maybe it's true. Maybe he took her to the food court Taco Bell. That's the way to my heart.
Jay and Silent Bob haul ass because the mall cop spots them and gives chase.
He just shoves those fucking chairs out of his way. He's like, mall cop or not, nothing will disrupt.
Complete disregard.
I've had an entire beer.
For the nostalgia chairs. Yes, if our voices sound slightly different.
We had a bit of a bump.
Bump in the road, technical difficulties.
Growing pains.
If any of our words sound rehearsed, it's because we said them before, but they were not recorded. So we had some ice cream.
Accidentally. I had a beer.
Vicky had a beer. And now we're back.
We're back.
TS approaches Shannon and Renee. He distracts Shannon while Brody pulls Renee into the elevator.
Yes. They have a nice argument.
Yeah, and then they make up.
They make up.
As you do.
In an elevator.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like, my memory of the 90s elevators are glass.
Yeah. And I can't recall a time I've ever been on a mall elevator alone. Or with
I can.
Only with the person I was with. Well, maybe I only go, like, on Saturdays. Ben Affleck is a complete asshole.
Yes.
Brody and Renee fight.
They
Shannon.
make up, they kiss, they break up.
Yes. They kiss, they make up. So Renee points out that Brody takes her for granted, and he's a loser.
Yes.
She's
and
not
also,
wrong.
she tells him that when a girl says it's a good size, she's lying.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it's small.
It's small.
I had another How I Met Your Mother reference.
Okay.
The bang, bang, bangity bang, 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 bangity bang. It's a good reference. Like,
Oh, man.
it is. Damn
I
it.
keep meaning to actually watch that.
I mean, it's a show that's like, it's funny in its first season, but then the longer it goes on, they have more callbacks to
Right.
old jokes, and
Right.
it makes it really enjoyable to watch
Right.
long term. Bang, bang, bangity bang. Brody celebrates prematurely, but they are in fact not back together.
Nope.
Shannon and Renee
We
move
are
on. Renee
never,
looks...
ever getting back together.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure how that song goes, but I feel like it's something like that.
Never, ever, ever getting back together. I think
feel
that's
like
how it goes.
I don't know.
He calls me up and he's like, I still love you. I love that part of that song. 'Cause
This is how we ran out of time the first
Yes.
time.
We are 6 minutes in and we've gone through 3 lines of notes.
Great.
Shannon and Renee move on. Renee looks wistful. Brody is totally over Renee,
Totally.
except he's not.
No.
And TS totally notices that.
Yes.
TS and Gwen hit one another.
Yep.
The
Tit nuts.
Yes. Wham bam. No thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Gwen is the chick that Silent Bob keeps busting in on.
Literally.
Literally. So she has a name now. The dad is getting the stage set up.
He's
TS
stomping around on it and he puts a fucking
Yes,
hole
he puts
through
a
it.
hole in the floor. He tells him to put the podium over it. And when I was in high school, I was part of a club
Mm-hmm.
that wrote poetry. We had
I hung out with those kids. I was not one of those
I think
kids.
that's why we get one another. So we would have an argument about podium versus lectern because podium includes the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and lectern is just the thing you stand behind.
Is just the podium.
Unless I got that backwards. There was a lot of argument about it, and I might have remembered it wrong, but I'm pretty sure
It's been a minute since you were in high school.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
When you say podium, people know what you mean.
Yeah.
TS is possessive and a douche.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up looking for Brandy. Him and the dad
Have it out.
and the dad has TS kicked out. TS is such a shitty ass name. Like, I'm getting tired of saying it.
Every time we say TS, I'm like Taylor Swift.
Oh, really?
Taylor Swift.
I think of T.S. Eliot.
You're a writer and I'm not.
T.S. and Gwen talk about why his relationship is failing. And spoiler alert, it's because they are not good together.
Yes.
I mean, I think we agree on that much at least. We don't agree on all the relationships in this movie.
Side note, T.S. Eliot is a British essayist. So he is a writer. And he is a he.
Or she.
No, it's a he.
Did you just assume his gender?
Yeah. The pictures are old as fuck. He's dead.
Gwen is trying on a lot of underwear in this scene.
In the store!
They talk about spooning.
Yes.
And how the discomfort of the arm
is a metaphor for his relationship with Renee.
Yes. And
Who I hate.
oh God. Why?
I don't hate her. Like, she's really pretty, but I just...
And she's like,
I guess, like, because Brody's the type of guy that I go out with.
yeah, I get that.
Except now as an adult, I'm like, you really need to have a job. In high school, though, I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll work.
They're in college, but yeah, they're still young. I do not.
Well, I get that they're not in high school anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I had my high school relationship, and then I met my husband.
So I guess what I like about Renee, that whole bit about I cry every morning.
Oh my God.
Because all I have to do is fuck you. That was dumb. But
Yeah.
I like that she has enough self-respect to just be like, I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. And unless you're going to treat me better than this, you can fuck yourself. Like, I really dig that Because they're like...
I guess I would be more into that if she didn't immediately go into the arms of Ben
But she's
Affleck.
not in a relationship with him. He's taking her out.
If you're having saliva sessions, you're together.
Are they making out?
I don't know.
I don't remember them making out.
I'm assuming.
Well, you know what
She's
assuming does.
Fuck you. She's met his mom.
Yeah.
And if we repeat things, it's because we're not sure what we've said that was already recorded.
We suck.
And what we said when the recording cut off.
Brody and Shannon face off. Shannon calls him a Mallrat, and that's the first time we hear that term.
Yes.
So that's where we get the name of the movie.
Yes.
He has no respect for people with no shopping agenda.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really funny line.
Yep.
Because he sells clothes. And I, as a shopper, don't have a lot of patience for people who have no shopping agenda. Like, get in, get out, go away.
As a shopper and as a former retail worker, have no patience for people who don't have a shopping agenda. Mm-hmm. Get out of my way, you fucking stragglers.
Right. Shannon lays the paint on Brody.
He goes hard in the paint.
He tells him he likes to get rebound girls and fuck them in someplace uncomfortable.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
Like the back of a Volkswagen. Brody cracks wise.
I'm not gonna not laugh when you say that shit.
I said it. I'm not taking it back either. Jay nurses Brody, and Brody lies about who kicked his ass, saying it was the Easter Bunny.
At which point, Jay and Silent Bob are like, we're gonna avenge you, man.
Yeah, like, we got you.
And they go to the Easter Bunny and they...
curb stomp the Easter Bunny.
Curb stomp the Easter Bunny. And then get curb stomped by the group of children watching.
I mean, I know it's a funny gag, but groups of children, man.
They're scary.
Don't fuck with
all
them.
the respect for teachers.
Oh, God. So Gwen says Shannon tried to fuck her in someplace uncomfortable.
Yup.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
It's his M.O.
Jay and Silent Bob kick the Easter Bunny's ass.
Yep.
They do it for Brody since he lied about who kicked his ass. He
Fuck
lied.
Shannon. She fucked Ben Affleck.
Gwen and Brandy discuss TS.
Yep.
So they fail the
That
Bechdel
was
test.
backstage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like as the audience, we're supposed to feel like this is a, like, Romeo and Juliet, the stars are crossed.
Yeah.
But I do not feel that way.
Her father doesn't approve.
Yeah, like, he doesn't treat her with any sort of respect.
No.
And she doesn't care enough about him
No.
to do it, to try to
stand up
mediate the situation.
No.
Like, they're horrible together.
I would be like, why am I wasting my time on you when you obviously don't even care enough to be like, no, Dad, I'm not going to go on your fucking dating show.
Right, you plan a vacation with someone on spring break.
Right.
Vacations cost money.
Right. And probably it's already paid for.
Exactly.
You fuckers.
So he plans a vacation, and you wait until the day before you're supposed to go to tell him you can't go because you're going
17 hours.
You're going on a dating show for your father.
Right? That's
like,
weird.
she's shitty.
Yeah.
But
so is her dad.
I'm
So
okay
is
with her
he.
being so shitty because he talks to her horribly.
Yeah, they wash each other.
Don't you have any strength in your convictions? Don't you have any strength in, like, fucking off? Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, they wash each other. Their shitty behavior. Neither of them are memorable characters.
She's really pretty. She is
really pretty.
Really pretty.
She is very pretty.
So
that's about it, though.
Her dad wants to talk to TS.
Yep.
Pressure is on him to make this work because it's a stepping stone to lead to better things.
Since
the governor
was like, fuck you and your check.
Right. TS lets it slip that he was going to propose, and the dad is less than thrilled.
Loses his cool.
Yes. No guns this time, though.
No guns. No saws.
He explains that her mother, Brandy's mother, was 15 and he was 14. Mm-hmm. And he's basically he keeps talking, stalling, waiting for the mall cops to come take Brody away.
Right. Or TS away.
Right, I'm sorry.
And also Brody, because Brody shows up.
Yes. Brody approaches and gives the stink hand, which if you don't know what that is, you haven't watched the movie. And if you haven't watched the movie...
We've ruined it for you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're too late.
Yep. The dad has both of them thrown out. And this is when they bring the weed out, right?
Yes.
Okay. Renee sees them being thrown out.
He drops it out of his hat like, look what we found.
You know what's funny? I mean, this is canon for me, but that weed has passed through Jay's hands.
Yes.
At some point. The weed that is their demise.
It's the same weed that he uses later.
Yes. Snoochie boochies. Renee sees them being thrown out. She gets help from Jay and Silent Bob. Jay knocks out a mall cop, and then they run off. The cops chase them.
Yes.
Silent Bob uses a batarang to escape. And I love how cozy they are up in the air.
Yeah, I was in my notes. I was like, Inspector Gadget over here, because he's pulling out all this different
right.
shit.
Yeah, he pulls out a blow-up doll, doesn't
yes.
he? Yeah. So, Brody and TS go to the Dirt Mall.
Yes.
Which is a flea market.
Appears to be, yes.
Yes. I'm not 100% certain they called it a dirt mall, but I feel like they did, and it's in my notes. And I wonder if dirt mall and flea market is just like a different terminology based on the region. So in New Jersey, they call it a dirt mall, and here we call it a flea market.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it seemed like a little bit more put together than flea markets, but it felt very flea market-y.
It felt very dirty.
Yes,
yeah.
Which flea markets are.
Yes.
TS puts on a clerk's hat in the scene, but then he, like, puts it back.
Yeah.
They visit Ivana for some sage-like advice.
Yes.
She has 3 nipples.
Yes.
Which TS does not notice.
At all.
Nope.
He's just hanging on her every word. He's like, you're so right. That's
we do need to work together. TS is convinced. Like, he has bought what she is selling for $58.60.
$58.60. I really, I've wanted to go for a really long time, but this cemented in my mind that I want to go to a psychic. Like, I don't feel like it would be accurate. Mm-hmm. I don't buy into it, but I think it would be fun.
That could be
I don't want to go to a topless psychic, though.
That was a
bit much for me.
Well, it's 3 nipples or bust. Like...
I would not be able to. I would be like, what? $58.60? You didn't even tell me anything.
At those prices, you should have got that thing removed.
Right? Damn.
So he buys her advice to work together to get the girls back.
Yes.
They leave. After she propositions Brody.
Yes.
She eats her 3rd nipple.
She eats her 3rd nipple.
And apparently it's cherry flavored.
That's gross. Because I totally thought it was like...
a pepperoni, right?
Or something.
Right. TS approaches Jay and Silent Bob seeking help. Brody talks to Stanley.
Yes.
Who talks a lot about love.
Love.
Jay freaks out the contestants and then gets them high. Snoochie boochie noochies.
Yes.
Stanley is obsessed with love, reveals the metaphor for characters and his regret for letting a girl go, which TS set all that bullshit up.
Right. It's baloney.
Right. But it's like sentimental baloney, so I buy it.
Yeah.
Bob and Trish test the force. That's where she was just like, I think it moved, and it didn't.
It didn't.
Brody has a plan.
Because he was like, really? With his eyes. Because he sounds
and he doesn't speak. She's like, no. The dad is sick, probably from the stink hand. It was super gross. And the chocolate-covered pretzels.
Yeah.
And the licking.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's not KFC, bro.
It's not KFC. I really like their mashed potatoes. Like, a lot.
I only like their mashed potatoes with their gravy.
We used to live in this little place called Plattsmouth, Nebraska. And it's about half an hour, 45 minutes away from Omaha. And in Plattsmouth, they have like a hybrid KFC Taco Bell combo. Mm-hmm. And I used to get 2 beef enchiladas, no onions, and a large mashed potato and gravy.
Oh my God.
And it was incredible.
So the contestants are very high.
Very, yes.
The 3rd contestant is Dante from Clerks, who's like the straight man.
I've seen Clerks, but every time I hear Dante, I think Dante's Inferno.
I do too. Well, when I was writing in my notes, I actually wrote third contestant is Randall, and then I was like, no, I liked Randall. It's the other one.
The one I didn't like.
Yeah, the not funny one. Brody knocks out the dude that is about to blow their cover.
Yes.
And Silent Bob. It throws me off every time. I'm like, who the fuck is Bob? Silent Bob does some electrical work. The show starts.
Yes.
Renee and Shannon are in the crowd. And I wrote
They're
down...
in like the third row.
Well, it looks like the third row
close.
when they do the close-up, but when they do the far shot, they're like in the 12th
away.
or 14th row. Like, they're not that close. But he spots them really cute. And he gives... Okay, I wasn't sold on Brody until he gives that look to her in the crowd. And then I was just like, okay, all right, okay. Yep. I got you.
Yep.
I got you, boo.
Look, we're not arguing.
Right?
We're on the same page.
Yeah, that look was...
Except I got there faster.
Adorable.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when I was sold on Brody. So she asks some really dumbass questions.
Yes, she does.
Which is typical of dating shows in that era.
Yes.
Like, they were just horrible. They
were really bad.
Who asks questions like this? But I thought we could answer the questions.
Okay.
Technically, we've already done this.
Once, yes.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
People still need to know.
They need to know.
Vicky, if you were a car, what kind of car would you be?
I would be the 2018 Toyota Concept Vehicle. Concept Vehicle. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
It's like a SUV looking thing. I can't remember what exactly it's called. It's like HRV numbers.
Yeah, numbers. It's new.
You guys can Google it. It's the only one as of earlier this week because I was like drowning in my drool over it.
Right.
And it happens to be orange, and I'm kind of on the quest for the Great Pumpkin.
What is that?
Which would be my carriage.
Cinderella.
Yeah. I really I wouldn't want like a sedan that's orange.
Right.
But if it was like an SUV or a compact SUV, which would be most fitting for me, or a Jeep or something, I want an orange one.
Please don't get a Jeep. You're not that person.
I know I'm not
You're
that
better
person.
than that.
I drove past, across from work, they have like the Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, whatever dealership. And I saw an orange one this morning on the corner, and I was like... And then I was like, oh, you're a Jeep, and I really don't want a Jeep. But I was like, you're so pretty.
If I were a car, I think that I would be, like, I would want to be something nice and, like, expensive and fast. Like,
but really, you're
really,
dependable.
I think I'm a Volvo.
Yeah.
They're the safest cars. Like, they're known to be the safest. I think that's not the case anymore, but, like, they still have that reputation, yeah. So I think I would be like a Volvo, and I don't know if they make these, but I think I'd be like a hatchback.
Hatchback?
I haven't drank anything.
I know.
But that ice cream is just like hitting me.
Ice cream, all that sugar, you're like,
cookie dough.
Cookie dough, it's so delicious.
I think I would be a hatchback because it's like cute.
It is cute.
It's practical and useful. And that's me. Like, in a nutshell, I'm safe.
Mostly.
I don't make bad decisions. I'm not a bad decision maker.
I mean,
damn it, Vicky, I'm a great decision maker.
I was about to say you married me, but you married Luke.
I married a version of you.
You married the male version of me.
And I think I would be...
I guess I'm the female version of him since he's older.
I'd be like a navy blue.
You'd be like a navy blue?
Yeah, but like a sparkly navy blue.
I don't know what color I'd be.
I like dark, sparkly colors in cars.
I feel like it depends on how I'm feeling, if I'm peopled out or not. Mm-hmm. If I'm peopled out, I would be like a solid gray.
Right.
I would be
Vicky
like
has an expiration date.
Gray. Yes.
Okay. Side note. We went on a girls' trip to celebrate my sister-in-law getting married.
Like 2 years ago.
Like 2 years ago. This was the beginning of our budding friendship.
Yes.
But we went on this trip, and Vicky was like life at the party.
Yes.
Had the best jokes, took the best selfies, just like took the most shots. She was live at the fucking party until like Sunday at 2:30, and then
done.
She was done.
There was no more.
She didn't make a single joke. She didn't participate in conversation.
I was done.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she just wanted to go to the car and go.
I'm like the definition of an introvert, in that I have so much to give and then I'm just depleted. I'm done. I'm cashed. But I have quite a bit to give before I get there.
Right.
Most of the time. Assuming I've gotten enough sleep. And
I didn't know that about you until that weekend. And then
yeah.
I was just like,
yeah,
oh.
because every time you saw me, I was like ready to hang out. I was like, yeah. And then we spent the entire weekend together, and at the end I was done. I was done. There's a picture, we're waiting for our food, and everybody at the table is like smiling. I don't even have my eyes open. I've just got my head resting on my hand, and I'm just like, ugh, do we have to take a picture?
We did.
Where's my food?
We were all like, not as hungover as we were the first day, but we were all like...
The first night was bad.
No, the first night was good. The second day was bad.
The first night was bad. For some of us.
For one of us. What would our first date be like?
First date. Your first date with Luke?
My first date with Luke, we went to a Mexican restaurant, and we saw The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and he grabbed my hand at the very beginning of the movie, like when they were like, in case of an emergency, head to the nearest exit. He grabbed my hand and held it in a death grip the entire movie, would not let it go.
In case of emergency, he wanted to be able to drag you with him.
No, in case of emergency, he wanted to bone me. And then, but I was like... super backward. I was really awkward with guys, and like Luke and I was a better person than I am today. And Luke was much the same as he is today, and I wasn't sold on the Luke and Sarah thing.
You might say Luke's been a bit of a bad influence.
I would say that Luke has made me question things that I didn't question before. And I think that's a good thing. I think that your partner should challenge you in that way.
It's a bad thing.
But yeah, and then at the end of the date, as we were going our separate ways, he gave me this like really long, really tight, really uncomfortable hug. That was our first date.
Oh.
Yep. I remember what he was wearing. Like,
I remember what I was wearing.
I don't remember what I was wearing.
I bought a dress in a gas station. I still have the dress. It's like, it's one of those stretchy top bits with like the flowing skirt bit that's kind of tie-dyed, but when it stretches out, you see the lines. And it's still in the closet somewhere. And a pair of sandals, but he was probably wearing a pair of plaid shorts and a t-shirt.
Zach?
Barefoot.
No,
we went to Loopy's, and then we watched Horrible Bosses, and I learned that Zach horse laughs, which
is sad.
At this point,
that's not a good movie.
Endearing.
That is not a good movie.
I find it endearing. He finds dumb stuff funny. He also finds me funny sometimes. Not as often.
I love that you assume that's a Venn diagram.
It's same. But then we stopped at the gas station so I could get my last pack of cigarettes ever that I didn't know at the time was going to be my last pack. And then we went to my house and we spent like 4 hours with my parents, ended up getting some Taco Bell and eating with my parents. He left at like 4. I had to be at work at 7. I made it on time because I was young and didn't have a child and had energy
Those
to
were
do
the days.
stuff. I could stay up for like 72 hours and still drive a straight line.
Oh, wow. Let's see.
Man.
She asks, if we fell in love, how would you propose to me?
Oh, man.
Which, I mean, that's possibly the worst question.
Right.
TS
you don't even know what
answers-
these people look like, and you're like,
Right. Like, if we were
not
going to spend the
saying-
rest of our lives together.
I'm not saying that attraction is.
It's
no,
important.
I am saying
It's
it's
important.
important. There has to be some kind of attraction.
Yes.
I wasn't talking to you to begin with. If I'm honest. Like,
And, like, is there anything worse than, like, having chemistry with someone but not having sexual chemistry with someone?
yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of times where, I say a lot of times, I've had a couple times where, like, I'll play video games with people, and I'll get to know, like, their online persona, and I'll find that attractive, and then you see a picture of them, and you're like, ugh. And instantly you're like, this would never work.
So TS answers, and he sucks. He sucks. He sucks. I just wrote that. I don't even know what he says, but he's always, like, questioning her convictions. Like, I really hate.
He said so much stuff, and it was just annoying. And it was so blatantly obvious that he was, like, the spurned lover.
Yes.
And he just came across as bitter and gross and...
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then, anyway. So,
Ugh.
yeah.
She asks Suitor 2 a comic book question.
Yes.
And he goes into great detail, at which point she's like, how's your comic books, Brody? And he's like, they're great. Wait, no, who's Brody?
Ask us some real questions. Jay panics for Silent Bob because he's not sure where he is.
He thinks that security guard mall cop has killed him.
So Trish distracts the mall cop.
Yes.
LaForge. Not
Whatever
Jordy.
his name is. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever his name is. It doesn't matter. Jay tosses the tape to Silent Bob. Snoochie Boochies.
Snoochie Boochies.
TS pressures Brandy to talk about the breakup.
Yes.
In front of a live studio audience.
Right.
Like, what
and
the
her
hell?
dad. And
Yeah, everybody.
America.
Would you ever make love in public? Brody blows a kiss to Renee. And that's when she throws the comic book question in.
Yep.
And Brody is busted.
Yep.
Brandy whines, as she does.
Right. Because she's annoying.
Brody takes offense, as he does.
Yes.
Brandy lays down the facts about all the shit that TS did.
Right.
And TS does not come out looking good.
No.
And then
But
Brody,
he
like...
also says some shit that she's done, and she doesn't look perfect.
No, I don't think that she is, but I do think of the two of them, he sucks more.
He sucks more.
Brody talks TS up and how he's been pining all day.
All day.
All day. All day.
Poor TS.
All day.
Yes, all
Sorry,
day.
like, my eye roll was so intense when he said that.
And she can't get that across.
Yeah. I mean, she should have. That should have been her response. He's been pining for you all day. Oh, really? Because we could have been in prison all our lives
Right.
for the shit that he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the audience is, like, eating up that shit.
Right. They love it.
Aww. So TS proposes.
She says yes.
Yes. And they suck. Face. And in general.
Awkwardly.
Yeah. You know,
Ugh.
until we watched it together. I watched this with Luke, and then we watched the end of it together because you hadn't finished it.
Right. Sorry, slacker.
And until you pointed it out, I did not notice. I listened to this podcast, and they talk about this guy is an aggressive kisser. Mm-hmm. And now that term is in my head as, like,
Yeah.
a term to use.
Right.
And it works here.
It
they are
does.
aggressively kissing
It
each other.
does. I feel like they're gnashing teeth.
Yeah, exactly. They had to have bumped teeth.
Which, I mean, I've
I
done
don't-
that before.
Yeah, it's not fun.
You know, every once in a while, you just get way too
Things
into
get
it.
awkward.
But there wasn't enough chemistry there.
That's
for
it.
there to be that much.
I think that
The
I would be
passion
able...
didn't relay itself well.
I would be able to overlook all of the annoying bits of their, like, angst with each other if they had chemistry.
At
but
all.
they don't.
No.
Like, there are
They're
couples.
like brother and sister. They're worse than brother and sister because brother and sister still have chemistry. What up, Cersei Lannister?
I am a sucker for actors with chemistry.
I know.
And I'm also a sucker for, like, bad boys that don't necessarily treat their ladies the way that they should.
No.
I know. It's shocking. Like, I dig Spike and Buffy.
Oh, I do too, actually.
I dig Veronica and Logan. But anyway, these guys have no chemistry. And that's why
their kiss is ugly.
Yeah, their kiss is ugly. Their relationship is stupid.
Everything about them. I mean, I guess we wouldn't have a movie without them, but Jesus.
The movie should be about someone else. Anyone else.
Maybe about
Jay.
Jay.
Just Jay.
Make it about Jay.
Snoochie Boochies.
Snoochie Boochies.
Jay pulls Brody.
Me? I'd fuck me. It's a different movie.
Yeah.
Not
it's a better movie.
It is a better movie.
Jay pulls Brody off stage. The cops arrive in full force.
Yes.
With the proper music. Like, the soundtrack at that point was on point.
Yes.
Willem loses his shit for real when Stan Lee sees the sailboat.
Yes, he flips his fucking lid.
Brody embarrasses himself for Renee.
Of course.
And she digs.
She digs.
Shannon is ready to fight. The cops arrive inside. Brody reveals that Shannon's plan to fuck Renee in a very uncomfortable place.
Like the back of the Volkswagen.
Yes. Willem makes it happen by losing his shit.
And punching the fucking thing.
Yes, and knocking the tape loose so that Silent Bob can get it. So
Silent Bob thinks it's his force.
Yes. And as he should. I think you should live that dream.
Live your dream.
Yes. Don't dream it.
Be it.
Yes. So they put the tape in, and it's Shannon and Trish. Shannon gets arrested.
As he should.
Yes. I thought she was 36. Bro.
I thought she was 36 too, but her actress, she's playing a 15-year-old.
I wonder how old she was. I should have looked that up.
I don't know.
Brody hits Shannon, and the cops...
At first he's like, no, you can't.
Yeah,
you
he's
can't
in police
hit
custody.
him in police custody,
and they're like,
Brody's
no, he's
like,
an asshole.
Brody's like, not even once, and they're like, make it fast.
So there's like two cops that interact with them the most. There's one with a mustache and one without a mustache, and the one without a. Am I saying mustache weird? Yes. Like I felt it. So the one without a mustache. The one without facial hair.
Okay.
He makes the most ridiculous faces.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just had to point that out. If you watch the movie, watch his face, because he makes really ridiculous, over-the-top faces. And it's really funny. It's worth noting. Silent Bob tells Jay about using the Force. TS and Brandy suck. That's in here a lot. Renee and Brody reunite.
Oh.
I was going to run this by you. I think that for a few of our episodes where we disagree or where there are options like this, we should have a poll.
Okay.
And you should vote who you ship.
Okay, yeah.
And
I ship Brody and Renee over fucking
exactly
and Brandy.
And I was thinking,
for sure.
I mean, it really wouldn't be fair, but we could put Jay and Silent Bob on there.
Oh, I would ship Jay and Silent Bob over almost anybody.
Yep.
Anytime, any place.
So
anywhere,
all the couples
to this day.
Brody is putting forth an effort to be better.
It's true.
Which is all she wanted.
Right.
And honestly, she shouldn't have had to break up with him for him to do that.
She shouldn't have, but sometimes it takes a kick in the ass to...
They kiss, and it's not weird.
It's not weird.
It works.
They have hot chemistry.
Yeah, they have good chemistry. Like, it's good. The couples come together. The dad is striking out. Brody gets a job offer. Dad gets arrested for FCC violations. Brody goes to Got the Tonight Show. Yeah. So this is like the future.
Right. This has to be several years later because Trisha has gotten her book deal.
Yes.
And she had to be 18 for that. So it's at least 3 years.
Renee runs the band for the Tonight Show.
Which is the most unbelievable thing in the movie, I feel like.
I don't think they ever said she had a musical inclination whatsoever. But she runs the band.
And then you see her banging on the drums and you're like, yep.
Yeah, and
you are not a method actress.
Yeah. You did not Daniel Day-Lewis this shit. The dad...
You did not Harold the Great. it up.
The dad works for the network as a janitor. T.S. and Brandy got married at Universal on the Jaws
boat,
and the priest does this weird yes
test.
He does. It was just weird, and then they aggressively kiss each other.
Yeah, only it wasn't quite as disgusting that time.
Right.
It was more palatable.
Now they're married.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So the fire has died down. As soon as the ring goes on the finger, dead bedroom.
That's not true.
It's really not true.
Not true.
If anything, well, never mind. We're not going to go there.
Let's not.
Trisha's book does well. Shannon went to prison and made lots of friends.
Lots of friends.
Lots of Volkswagens. Willem finally saw the sailboat. And Jay and Silent Bob, that's a whole different story.
Yes. And the monkey. The chimpanzee.
Suzanne. So, who was our MVP? I mean, Jay and Silent Bob, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. If you discount Jay and Silent Bob, though, because they're not actually the stars of this movie.
Brody.
Yep.
I'm with you.
But, Jay. I would like to note, I just thought of this. They're in a mall. Mm-hmm. It's 1995.
Yes.
1993 or whatever. I did not see a single Starbucks. Just crossed my mind. And now they're fucking everywhere.
I'm a fan of Starbucks.
I mean, I am too.
Basic like that.
I really like their peppermint white mochas.
So,
if anybody wants to send me gift cards.
So our likes and dislikes, I think we
love Jay and Silent Bob.
Of course. How could you not?
Jason Mewes is not ugly.
Nope.
Even when he's got a baby face.
I dig it. Whatever. I'm into it. So we like Jay and Silent Bob. We like Brody for the most part. He's a little shitty, but he gets his act together.
He gets it together.
Our dislikes, T.S. and Brandy.
He has growth.
Yes, he has an arc.
Yeah.
That is what they're missing.
Yeah. They just stay
nobody else
the
arcs.
Whole fucking movie, yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. Well done, Victoria.
No, ma'am.
Well done.
No, ma'am. That's not my name. I mean, it is, but don't call me that.
So our dislikes, Brandy and T.S.
My dislikes is Sarah calling me Victoria.
And Shannon.
And
there's a lot to dislike. And honestly, I think that this is not one of the best movies that Kevin Smith has put out.
It's not. It's not, for sure.
But, it's enjoyable, but it is... The main characters, the ones you're supposed to care about the most, suck.
Yeah. But...
It's still funny.
Let's leave it here. Suzanne the chimpanzee did a better job acting than freaking Brandy and T.S. did the whole movie.
It's bad when, I hate when the best thing I can say about the actress is that she was really pretty.
She's really pretty.
And I've seen her in other stuff. I know she was in Meet Joe Black. She's been in a lot of stuff, but that's the one that really, sticks in my mind. Mm-hmm. And, even then, her character was pretty... boring, but she did a good job portraying it. Right. It's not that she's not talented as an actress, but the best part of her character, which is kind of on Kevin Smith, was that she was pretty.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Right.
So, conclusion.
You like your characters to have a little bit of meat on them.
I do. Netflix has, on several occasions, sent me, you know how they give you shit that they think you'll like? And the category was... dramas with a strong female lead.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And I'm just oh, Netflix. Oh, Netflix, you know me so well. All right, so conclusion is if you like Kevin Smith, you'll probably like it.
Yeah.
But you can skip it if you just want to, hit the highlights.
Yeah, my final verdict is it's worth at least a watch. I wouldn't watch the extended version if you don't have to.
Right.
Because the cut scene, it deserves getting cut.
Yep, I'm with you. So, all right.
Sorry, Governor.
Governor?
You fucking bitch.
So contact us on social media. Like us, give us a 5-star review, because as we've discussed in the past, it's 5 stars or bust.
We're worth it.
Exactly, because we're worth it. If marketing has told us...
Wait.
I don't think that's Maybelline.
No, I don't remember I don't have commercials anymore.
Email us at dramamamaspodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook page, which you can like us on, the Drama Mamas Podcast. I mean, we never. We've recorded 3 episodes, but we haven't said thanks for listening. We probably should.
But we totally mean it.
Yes, we appreciate
it's implied.
it. Yes.
We appreciate your listens. We appreciate your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Your,
If you are sending feedback and you haven't seen it reflected, it's because we haven't gone live yet. And so we've recorded this without getting any feedback.
Right.
So we're not ignoring you.
So, yeah, we've not even posted our intro yet.
Mm-mm.
It's coming.
We wanted to have a few in the pocket. But I think that's pretty much everything for Mallrats. So, as always, remember to save the drama.
For these mamas. Dun, 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 dun. Next week on the Drama Mamas. He doesn't have bad hair. He just has different textured hair. Much more.
He has a mullet.
Much more. It's like the fucking. I don't know what the fuck. It's like a hat. He's got hat hair.
Yeah, it's business in the front, party in the back.